Right. Introduce yourself, your organization, and then go on to introduce Drum, why Drum is here, and we move on from there.
Okay. Hello, my name is Daryl Pleasance. I'm the Chief Trainer at Animals Saving Animals, and we specialise in conservation dogs. We deploy them throughout the world. Why am I here? Because we've recently deployed a dog here called Drum, a small Springer Spaniel. He's 10 months old and he's arms, ammunition search and short to be ivory search on top of that. What is his role? He has a twofold role really. One is that he will be a vehicle checkpoint dog. So as vehicles enter the conservancies, our Pejeta and surrounding conservancies, he will be there and he will check the vehicles coming in for arms or ammunition. Why do we need to do this? Because unfortunately some poachers pose as tourists, come into the conservancy under legitimate reasons to do nothing more than to plant a weapon on the conservancy for a later date. Why? Because the poachers do not want to be found with the rhino horn or ivory or the weapon on them, because that is the attributing item that will actually get them the conviction. His second role is he will be deployed when and if necessary. So should there be a shooting incident, God forbid, on any of the surrounding conservancies, his role is to locate the firing position, firstly so then a tracker dog can actually give chase from that firing point, and secondly that the rounds, ammunition, weapon, should it be hidden, can then be used for ballistic evidence in a court. He's also, as I said, he's deployed in a role where he can search for weapons in any area, both urban and rural. He can search vehicles, people, buildings inside and out, and roads if necessary in the aid against wildlife crime.
Let's talk about this morning, the sequence of events, the training, how you're going about it, what Drum is actually doing on the ground in terms of acclimatizing, working with the new handlers and so on.
So Drum has just arrived on the conservancy. Obviously there's a huge change in climatic conditions and in the environment, and indeed with the handlers, because he's now being handed over from myself, who's trained him, to his new handlers. So we have a period of transition. This period of transition is normally a week, where what we do is we just introduce him to his new environment. He feels at ease with me, so when I introduce him to the new handlers, he's immediately settled. He'll take about 10 days to 3 weeks to acclimatise to the new environment, to the new conditions, and then he'll be absolutely fine with it. What we've been doing today is very short exercises, only 5–10 minutes, because as I said, he is acclimatising, where the handler is learning how to operate the dog and the dog is actually learning how to bond with the handler. It's a long process. It will take about 6 weeks in total for the team to come together as a complete working unit, but it will happen, and that's what we've been doing today.
Let's talk about the successes either in the past or what you hope to achieve. I know you said what the role will be, but with the introduction of the K9 unit, what are some of the big successes and what are some of the things that have been averted just by having...
All right, just give me a second just to think about it, because I've just got to think about the answer here. Okay. So why do we use dogs in an anti-poaching role? Well, we use Drum primarily because of his olfactory system. His olfactory system is his sense of smell. As a human being, we have 5 to 10 million receptors in our nose. A dog has anything up to 220 million, which gives him a far superior, greater sense of smell. He's also able to continuously scent. So what he can do is, while he's breathing in and out, 88% of his air is going into his lungs, 12% is going straight into his olfactory system, which means he's constantly able to process scent while he's moving. When we put this into relation into the anti-poaching world, this gives us quite a superior weapon in the fight against wildlife crime. And if you consider that across Kenya in general, dogs have some involvement with up to 95% of the arrests in regards to poaching figures, he's a formidable asset to have on the conservancy.
I've run out of questions. Unless you have something else you want to add to this scenario, then we're done.
I think we're good. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, perfect.
It's always a very thin line you walk between giving out too much information about what we do.
Yes.
And
Go.
so we often get asked, why do we deploy the dogs so young? When we say young, we deploy them between 10 and 12 months. So they get training in the UK from 12 weeks of age, and we deploy them at 10 months because they're just starting, they're now teenagers effectively, so they're starting to think for themselves. So what you want during this period is you want a dog that is now going to be adaptable to the new environment, new situation. If we were to take these dogs to 18 months and they would be fully trained, it would be a lot harder to pair these dogs over in Africa with the new handlers. If we take them over at 10 months, the dog has a high level of training and is able to commit to the work that he needs to do. And the handler is effectively quite green, so the handler is quite inexperienced. So the dog leans on the handler in regards to his new environment, protect me, look after me, take me through this strange environment and strange climate and situation. And then the handler leans on the dog slightly and says, okay, I'm not as good at you as searching, can you help me? And over a period of the next 5 to 6 weeks, they then bond and gel and become an effective working team together.